Well, good evening. I just want to first thank everybody. A Noble, my mom adored every last one of you. And my family, you were her rock. And my coworkers, y'all came out and showed out. Thank you. Ever since I finalized the arrangements, I've been thinking, what am I going to say about my mom? And a lot of you know I'm a writer. I write poems for events such as this often, but I said, what am I going to say about my mom? And I said, Danyale, just be patient. Let it hit you. And on Thursday, we'll do this gorgeous memorial for my mom, and me and my partners, Renee and Nisa, went, and I had the honor of sitting with CEO Dudley Boyd, and he asked my daughter what she wanted to be when she grew up, and Nisa just spat out, programmer. And I thought about my mom, and when she said programmer, I could see his eyes just light up, and I could tell that's something that he really liked. And he began talking about coding, and he told us about this cab company called Uber that is the biggest cab company in the world, and they own no cabs. And he was explaining how coding and binary language, set up these networks and satellites to where people just like you and me could use our car and be a cab, and all with no taxi cabs. And I said, wow. And he said zeros and ones, and I said, wow. Zeros and ones, that's amazing that zeros and ones make up all of this digital technology that we see. And we can't see the zeros and ones, but we know they're there because of what we can see on our tablets and our phones and our desktops. And then I said, Danyale, that's not it, that's not all. And I said, just be patient, let it come to you. And me and Sine, we were watching TV, some political show, no doubt. And they had this footage in the 70s when they went to the moon, and they were trying to prove the theory of gravity, Isaac Newton. And this guy had these two objects. They were different sizes, different weights. And sure enough, he dropped them, and they both fell down to the moon floor at the same time. And they said, well, he was right. And then I thought about gravity, and I said, gravity is a strong force to behold. Gravity is what holds our galaxy together. It's why the planets are spaced the way they are. It's how stars are born. It's why we can walk around in this big round ball and not fall off into space. It's because of gravity. And I thought, can't see gravity, but we know it's there because we're walking around and we see our planets and we see our stars. And then I said, well, I don't think that's all. I don't think that's it. So I was patient. And just this morning, me and Sine, my love, we were talking about philosophy, and great Greek philosopher Plato came to mind, and I thought about a parable called The Allegory of the Cave. And some of you may have heard, but just to put it in a synopsis, imagine men, they're chained to a wall, their backs are to the wall, and they're in a cave. It's a nice sized cave, it's dark, and they see a wall before them. And behind those prisoners are puppeteers, and they're holding up these objects that cast shadows on the wall before the men. And behind the puppeteers, there's this big fire, and that's what's casting that shadow. And the prisoners are looking at these shadows, and they're thinking, these must be monsters. I hear these echoes. What are these sounds? And, they can't look to the left or right. All they can see is directly what's in front of them, these shadows. And in the story, a couple of the prisoners were released, and they realized that those shadows weren't monsters, and those noises weren't bad things coming. They were simply puppeteers casting shadows on the wall. And I thought to myself, it's what you don't see that gets you to where you need to be. And that was my mom. As my uncle explained, my mom, she didn't grow up with roses. She saw a lot of shadows, but the beauty that I didn't see while she was here is how much she impacted the people in her life in such a positive way. And I know that's true because I see all of you here. And I remember I was talking to my mentor, George Brown, he's my manager. I texted him one day, I said, you know, you come from good bread. You know, his dad was a really good man. And I said, you know, I know you're good bread because you came from good bread. And when you pull a piece of that good bread, you can make more good bread. And my mom was good bread. And I'm a piece of that good bread. I'm a piece of my mom. And I'm a hard worker because my mom was a hard worker. I'm a universal thinker because my mom was a universal thinker. I'm accepting of all walks and cultures. All of that is because of my mom. And she always called me her angel since I was yay high. And when I was little, I'd be like, you know, Mom, okay. You know, I'm a pumpkin, you know. I called Nisa my Pookie. I called her little the other day. She said, no, Mommy, I'm medium. I'm not little. But my mom, she called me her angel, and I didn't realize how much I was until now. But I realized that she really was my angel. And I always said I didn't grow up with roses, but she really was my rose all along. And I just, with my full heart, I really want to thank each and every person that was affected by my mom and that impacted my mom to be the person that she was. And I just want to tell her that I love her because I know her spirit is still here. And just one more thing in closing. I was talking to the guy about her gravestone. And he said, what do you want to put on her gravestone? And I said, I want to put, Mommy, comma, you did it, exclamation mark. And he said, well, I don't think anybody's ever put an exclamation mark on a gravestone. And I said, well, there's nobody like my mommy. So with that, I just want to say, Mommy, you did it. And I am eternally indebted to you. And